I've spent a better part of the past few years intentionally curating my wardrobe with pieces that are versatile and have longevity. And throughout this process, I have definitely learned which items in which categories are maybe worth the splurge, as well as the categories that I would rather save my money on. So today I want to share with you guys these items so that you can make better decisions when you're curating your own style. Now, just a disclaimer before we get into it, the definitions of saving and splurging are going to mean totally different things to different people. We all live different lifestyles. We all have different means. So do yourself a solid and just make sure that you're staying within your own personal budget. So if you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And if you need a little bit of extra style support, make sure you check out the Feeling Good Style Club in the description box down below. And without further ado, let's get into it. So before we get into the actual items that I recommend saving on and splurging on, I want to quickly talk about cost per wear. Because really above all else, I want this video to teach you how to analyze the cost per wear when it comes to specific items you're interested in purchasing, and therefore either saving on them or splurging on them. So my rule of thumb is that if I'm going to wear an item more frequently, I am willing to invest more into it. The idea is really quite simple. The more you wear something, the less the cost per wear is going to be, which makes it just a more worthwhile investment. On the other hand, if I don't see myself wearing something super often, or maybe just not as often as other pieces, I'm not really willing to spend a ton of money on it. But that doesn't mean I'm willy-nilly buying anything that is really low cost or on sale or deeply discounted, because at the end of the day, I am shopping with intention above all else, and I recommend you do the same. Because saving does not equate settling for less. Okay, so now that we know a little bit more about cost per wear, let's dive into the items that I recommend saving on, and then after that, we will talk about my splurge items. So the first items, or I guess you could say the first category I recommend saving your money on, is sweatshirts and sweatpants. This is a category I firmly believe in saving over spending. I don't think I've ever splurged on any type of sweatshirt or sweatpant or anything like that. You can easily find sweatshirts, sweatpants, loungewear at your local thrift store for probably less than $10, depending on where you live, of course. I just don't think that spending money on these items is really necessary, especially because I personally find something really cozy and almost comforting about a well-loved sweatshirt from the thrift store. I don't know, there's just like something about it. And this is a win-win-win in my book, because not only are you saving money, but you're shopping secondhand, and you get a cozy, comfy sweatshirt, sweatpant, whatever the case may be. And I'm personally somebody who prioritizes comfort above all else all of the time. So it's definitely a win for me, and I know it will do the same for you. The next item that I recommend you save your money on are elevated tops. If you're somebody who wears elevated tops more often, it would make more sense for you to invest in them. But for me, elevated tops are reserved for things like a nice dinner or a work event or something like that. Things that I do occasionally, but not on the daily. They're not necessarily staples in my everyday wardrobe, and therefore I'm not really willing to spend a ton of money on them. That being said, just because I don't splurge on elevated tops doesn't mean I don't have the plan or the intention to keep them in my wardrobe for as long as possible. Before I purchase any type of item, whether I'm saving on it or splurging on it or something in the middle, I am analyzing every single piece to see its adaptability in my wardrobe and, of course, its longevity. I'm looking for high quality fabrics. I'm looking for high quality construction. I'm looking for the fit. I look for tops that are able to be styled across different occasions, different seasons, different aesthetics. It is possible to save money on items that are high quality. It just takes a little bit more effort to recognize what makes a piece high quality and to ensure that it is going to have that longevity in your closet. The next category I recommend you save your money on are seasonal jackets. I have found that thrift stores, garage sales, flea markets, basically anywhere secondhand is a great place to find a seasonal jacket. And just to be clear, I am not talking about winter coats here. I'm solely talking about seasonal transitional jackets. So my two core seasonal jackets are a denim jacket that I got at a garage sale for $2. One of my best secondhand finds in the world. It's a Levi's too, which is just like, love it. Can't get enough of it. And I also have a longer leather coat that I got for $13 at my local thrift store. I generally prefer to spend more money on items that I'm gonna be able to use year round. It depends on the category, and we'll get obviously into the splurge items in a few minutes. But if the likelihood of finding something secondhand is high, then I feel like I'm more inclined to save. And the last category that I recommend you save on are special occasion pieces. These are things like wedding guest dresses, birthday dresses, New Year's Eve outfits, things like that. I recommend actually renting above all else. Now, I know this isn't the case for everybody, but it is a pattern that I see amongst a lot of people where you will buy a special occasion piece and you'll wear it once and never again, and then you ended up wasting money, and you're also taking up precious closet space. So personally, whenever I have a special occasion coming up, I am renting from Nuuly. I have been a customer of Nuuly for so long. They have never failed me. Now, the price of Nuuly is $98 per month, which, like, obviously that is pricey for some people. It totally depends. You do get 6 items for that $98. So for me, that's worth it. Now, maybe this category, now that I'm thinking about it, isn't necessarily about saving money, but instead it's more about avoiding wasting your money on clothes that you never wear, which personally, at the end of the day, for me, is a form of saving money. All right, so let's get into the splurge items. The first one is t-shirts. Now, I do see a lot of people say that t-shirts are a save item for them. And again, this video is totally subjective. Like, this is just my opinion. I definitely save when it comes to graphic t-shirts because those are something I can easily pick up at the thrift store. But when it comes to plain t-shirts that I'm gonna be wearing a majority of the time, I mean, if you watch my videos, you know I love a t-shirt. So I generally spend around $30 per t-shirt, which is definitely not like a huge splurge. There are t-shirts out there that are like $80, $90, $100. I'm not doing that. But 5 to 10 years ago, I probably would have not spent $30 on a t-shirt. So just in this time of my life, it is a little bit more than what I'm generally used to, but well worth it in my opinion. I bought my white t-shirt from Aritzia a few years ago. I even went back in my email to see how much I got it for. I bought it for $30, and if I were to calculate the cost per wear, it would be probably in the pennies. Like, I have worn this t-shirt so many times. It is so worth it to me to spend that $30, and I would do it over and over and over again. I do have 2 suggestions for you if you are looking for a higher quality t-shirt but you don't want to spend $30. Listen up. First things first, Everlane, which I have purchased t-shirts from, and they are high quality. They have a deal for 3 for $60 t-shirts. I will leave a link in the description box down below. It's a fantastic deal, $20 a pop. 20 bucks a pop? Am I living in the 20s? 20 bucks a pop. Now, my other suggestion is to head over to Quince because they have $15 t-shirts. That's the full price. Again, I will leave a link in the description. Now, full transparency, I don't own any t-shirts from Quince, but I own a ton of other products from Quince, so I can attest to the quality of the brand as a whole, just not the t-shirts. But I mean, 15 bucks for a t-shirt, like, come on. The next category that I recommend you splurge on is denim, specifically jeans and denim shorts. When it comes to denim jeans or denim shorts, I find that just because fit is so specific, it can be kind of tough to find the right pair secondhand at the thrift store, and especially a high quality pair as well. Let's talk about it. Investing in 100% cotton denim is a very smart choice. Now, unlike denim with elastane, which loses its shape over time, it can get really damaged with a lot of wear, especially if you are washing and drying them a ton. 100% cotton denim molds to your body over time, and it helps maintain its structure a little bit more as opposed to elastane or like stretchy denim. Now, I do want to say real quick that I actually did recently get a pair of 100% cotton jeans from the thrift store. So if you have the time, if you have the effort to go to your local thrift store and search throughout all the tags. It was me the other day. I was just like looking through every single care tag of every single jean at the thrift store. Like, if you have the effort for that, go for it. Like, if you can save on any of these categories, like, be my guest, go for it. But for me, there's a compromise that I have to make when it comes to effort and money and like the time spent finding things at the thrift store. And there are just times where I'm not really willing to spend a ton of time at the thrift store when I know that there's a lesser chance of me finding something. The next item that I recommend you splurge on are sweaters. So I prefer sweaters that are made with natural materials, things like wool and alpaca. These are materials that also are breathable and they retain their shape a little bit better over time as opposed to more synthetic materials. And honestly, they just feel better on my skin. Like, this is also a comfort thing. I'm not willing to pretty much spend any type of money on sweaters that are itchy or have acrylic or a lot of polyester in them. Like, it's just not for me. I find that materials like polyester and acrylic also pill a lot over time, and that's something that drives me nuts about sweaters. So for me, investing in sweaters that do have more natural materials in them is just a better option, especially when it comes to longevity. The last category that I recommend you splurge on are blazers. So I experienced this firsthand probably a few months ago when I upgraded my H&M blazer to a secondhand blazer I got from Aritzia. The difference was astounding. Like, the structure with the Aritzia blazer, the quality of the materials, just so much better than my H&M one. I just, wow, it blew me away. A well-made blazer should have almost a tailored fit. It should be able to maintain its shape, of course. It's something that is just going to withstand the test of time a little bit better in your wardrobe. And again, like, you don't have to go crazy here. Like I said, I bought my Aritzia blazer secondhand. It was still a splurge for me because a lot of Aritzia blazers are $250, $300 if I'm not mistaken. And this one I think I got for around $80. It was definitely way more than I spent on my H&M blazer, which I got for like super cheap a long time ago. So again, you can definitely get a lot of these splurge items for secondhand, and you can get items that are way above your splurge threshold for secondhand if you want. All right, you guys, that is the end of the video. Leave a comment down below. What is one item you're willing to save on and one item you're willing to splurge on? I would love to hear about it. I would also love to hear if you're aligned with me on any of these categories. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. Either way, thank you for watching. As always, thank you so much for watching. I am so appreciative of your support, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.